God holds your future as he holds your past and present, because why? They are one to him. And so they should be one to you. That's a big statement. To God, he sees no difference between the past, between the present, and between the future. In every one of those, he sees only love. In every one of those, he knows you only as whole and complete. And so that's why there is no difference to him. There is no linear time to him, even though we have made and believe deeply in these ideas of linear time, of passing of time. It is not the same to him. Yet in this world, it goes on to say, the temporal progression does seem still very real. And then it goes on to say, and so you are not asked to understand the lack of sequence really found in time. Because we can't. We are so affected by this. Everything in this world is about time. Everything in this world is about progression. And it says, you are simply asked to let the future go and place it in God's hands. Now, I added the word simply, as kind of, probably shouldn't have added that, because it's not so simple to do, is it? It is not so simple to let the future go and place it into the loving hands of God. And yet it says, and you will see by your experience that you have laid, if you place the future, the past and present in his hands as well, because the past will punish you no more and future dread will now be meaningless. I think we can begin the process as we have, because I was thinking about this. I mentioned this in the meditation at the very beginning. This is my, my 39th year, starts my 39th year of studying the course. And as I was saying, when I get to these workbook lessons like this one, I place the future in the hands of God. It's like putting on an old shoe. Like when your feet hurt from the shoes you've been wearing all day, and you go home and you take your shoes off and you put on those comfortable slippers that are ripped and torn and have no arch support whatsoever in them, but your feet just feel so good in them. They just it's got every worn little side to it, and you just slip into those things, and you'd never wear them out in public, and they'd fall apart if you got them wet, But those are so comfortable, and they just make you feel good. That's what this lesson is like. That's what these lessons begin to be like. You may not be able to understand them logically. Maybe you've had moments or glimpses. This begins to make sense to us, but you just don't have the ability to prove it. You have the experience of it in story or example in your own life, but it's so comfortable. It makes so much sense. And that's what this lesson is about. When it says, you will see by your experience, that's all you can go by. That when you place the future, you feel as if you are supported, because the past and the present seems to be in his hands as well. The past can punish you no more, and you do not necessarily dread the future, because you now know that it is meaningless. Worrying about the future has never changed the future. It just makes you worry about the future. It makes you not sleep. It makes you frustrated. It makes you tired. It does everything to you. It gives you wrinkles. Learn now, because you're so wrinkle-free. You don't need them. It can take it away from you. You do not need to worry about what's going to happen in the future, because no matter what you worry about, it's going to happen no matter what. Now, if you place it in the hands of God, imagine he's in control now of that future. How much better that could be. That you could see in ways that you never saw before, because you're joining your mind with the mind of God, with the omniscient, omnipotent mind of the universe. Wouldn't you rather have that and experience it? It's kind of like, I don't know if you're aware of this. We have a new planet in the solar system, planet 9, right? Pluto used to be the 9th planet, but we demoted Pluto. He's a dwarf planet, so he doesn't get that anymore. But the same guy who demoted Pluto actually found planet 9, which I thought was kind of interesting. And you know how they found planet 9? They didn't see it, because they can't see it. They can only experience it by the effects. The effects. The gravitational pull on these KBOs, which are Kuiper Belt objects that are in space. That's the only way we can, and another little planet, Senda, I think it is, or something. That's the only way we can know that there's another planet out there, because of the pull of gravity on these little KBOs that are out there in space, way far out. And this is a huge planet. I mean, this is 10 times the mass of Earth or something. I mean, yeah, 11,000 years to go around the sun. You know, I mean, so it takes that long for it to go around the sun. That's what about 1 year would be to this planet. So just fascinating what there is. But the only way we know it's out there is by its effect. And science says, so we're still looking. We've put, you know, what they did was put all this information out. They've projected the trajectory of the planet, and they're telling people, look with your telescopes up there and see it. And when you see it, you know, then let us know. So they're crowdsourcing to find this planet. But it's a good idea. You know, it's a great idea to do. But think about that. Science is now saying we're just going to go by what we know is out there, even though we can't see it. We're going to go by an effect that's out there. So why would that not be valid for us? Science is coming very close to what we've said for forever, which is we are forever an effect of God. God is real because we are. You know, I mean, that's the reality here that we're saying. You can't see him, but we know by the experience within our hearts that this is real. We can't quantify it or qualify it, but we can feel it, so we know it's real. Same thing about that planet. They know it's out there by the effect. So that's kind of interesting, I think, when you think of this. You will see it by your experience, the effect. That you have laid the past and present in his hands as well, because the past is not going to punish you anymore. You're not going to beat yourself up over the past anymore. And future dread will make no sense to you. Why am I possessed about the future? I can do nothing to change it, but I know what the future will be. I can tell you what the future will be. God's loving hand. That's the future. And if I look for that, if I look for love, I will find it. And the punishment of the past was a misperception within itself. And it is time for me to join my mind with the mind of God when I think about what happened in my past as well, to be transformed, right? Because he's real. Because I have experienced it. Therefore it is. Science is believing it. Why can't we now?